how are you going to actually create integrity in cyberspace? And I think the simple answer here is you actually create a public-private key identity pair like they use on Nostr, but then you have to actually inscribe it on the Bitcoin base layer with a transaction. So I determine Michael Saylor's public key is this on the Bitcoin base layer. I publish that to the world's most immutable database that's immortal, that's indestructible on a transaction that cannot be interdicted.
MicroStrategy Executive Chairman Michael Saylor is undoubtedly one of the industry's brightest minds and greatest thinkers. With his extensive knowledge of various fields of human endeavor and deep mastery of metaphors, Saylor is also a fabulous speaker that can explain even the most complex topics in a simple and interesting way that can easily be understood by many, if not all. During a recent discussion with Kitco's Michelle McCory, Saylor examines the extreme opportunities as well as the equally extreme and terrifying threats that artificial intelligence presents for the human race. According to Saylor, we crossed into the commercial zone for AI about a year ago, and the possibilities have since been endless. Saylor admits that the simulation of human intelligence processes by computer systems opens a world of opportunities for the human race. As an example, Saylor says companies can use AI to achieve the tasks of thousands of workers without having to pay the salaries of thousands of workers. However, he notes that the threat is just as great, if not greater than the opportunities. To begin with, Saylor explains that while the first two generations of AI were easily discernible to the average computer literate, the third, and so far the last generation of AI would be more human than humans. When the full capabilities of these simulations are unleashed, Saylor believes the consequences would be completely catastrophic. According to the MicroStrategy Executive Chairman, the gender, race, and political divides we are witnessing currently will be nothing compared to what these machines could achieve with deepfakes and similar AI advancements. As he does for other issues, Saylor has a solution for AI impersonation. It's a solution he tweeted about several times last year, just before and after Elon Musk bought Twitter. In April 2022, Saylor replied to Musk's tweet about defeating spam bots. His tweet reads, "Twitter can solve the problems of scam and bots if they allow real humans to get verified with an orange check by posting a one-time security deposit. Then limit comments and DMs to verified accounts. Reported bad actors and spam bots forfeit their deposit and Twitter monetizes malice." The following day, Saylor again tweeted, "Twitter needs 396 million orange checks to evolve beyond the limits of 360,000 blue checks. Everyone should have the right to be verified in a few seconds for a few sats without surrendering their privacy." The following month, Saylor again contributed to a conversation between Canadian clinical psychologist Jordan Peterson and Musk, suggesting that social networks could monetize malice by introducing a paid for orange checkmark on tweets. His tweets read, "Twitter can solve the problem of scammers and spam bots if they allow real humans to post approximately 50,000 sats via Lightning and get verified with an orange check. Then we can limit comments and DMs to verified accounts. Bitcoin is the solution to cleaning up social media and bringing safety and civility to cyberspace." It's been over a year since Saylor made those suggestions, and the need to protect cyberspace has only grown more urgent. He details the problems and Bitcoin-related solutions during his Kitco interview, from which we will now bring you clips. Please watch the video to the end, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications for more videos. Thanks and enjoy the video.
The threat in cyberspace is I can spin up 100 million AI bots to take over Twitter or Nostr or Instagram or Facebook or Google. And they're more intelligent than I am, and they're more charismatic than I am, and they work harder than I do. And that means that I could use those to distort any kind of reality. If I want to be Katy Perry, I can create Katy Perry. I can create 100 million of Katy Perry's fans, and I can create
Interesting choice, but yeah.
50,000 Katy Perry super fans. And it's all just a fictitious creation in AI land because the cost to create an entity has gone to zero, okay? So that's a threat because now the question is, can you trust anything unverified anywhere that you hear? In my personal experience, when I encountered toxicity on Twitter, 95% of the time, the toxic comments weren't coming from real human beings. They were coming from bots that were created by first-generation bot programs. So imagine the third-generation bot program, which is indistinguishable from a person with a PhD. So I could always tell the first-generation bots because they had bizarre names and they had like JPEG images and they looked stupid. But the problem of third generation bots is they won't be distinguishable by any human being. They will be more human than a human. The other day, there were probably 2,000 fake accounts that followed me on Twitter in one day, which means there's 750,000 fake people following me on Twitter every year. No, legit, I saw it. I literally saw in a matter of 1 hour, 1,500 bot accounts got scrubbed off my account in 1 hour. And they were bots. So we can no longer live with that status quo. So the issue is, how are you going to actually create integrity in cyberspace? And I think the simple answer here is you actually create a public-private key identity pair like they use on Nostr, but then you have to actually inscribe it on the Bitcoin base layer with a transaction. So I determine Michael Saylor's public key is this on the Bitcoin base layer. I publish that to the world's most immutable database that's immortal, that's indestructible on a transaction that cannot be interdicted. If I do that, I've got an orange check. It might cost me a quarter once in my life, but now you've got an immutable identity. If you tie that to your Twitter identity, now if someone wants to launch a billion Twitter bots, it's going to cost them a billion transactions, and that's going to be $1 billion. You end up with a cost to mount a billion repetition attack. But B, if you become a fake person, if you generate 10 million fake people, and I catch you in my screen and I block you, it costs you $1 or $10 or $100. So by conjoining or by combining the power of cryptography with the power of a decentralized crypto network like Bitcoin, I can bring cost and consequence into cyberspace. Okay, and I'll give you an example of cost and consequence in real space. Gravity and friction. And if I take away the gravity, you float away. Yeah. And if I take away the friction, you can't walk across the carpet. And so no machine can work in the universe without conservation, thermodynamics, gravitational laws, etc. No machine can work in cyberspace without the same thing. And so I think that the AIs have just taken us to the natural conclusion, which is cyberspace suffers from toxicity. And in the absence of a cost, of a thermodynamic cost to do something, you cannot trust the thing you see. And so it's inevitable that we're going to actually introduce this idea of cryptographic verification.
Saylor resigned as the chief executive officer of MicroStrategy last year to face the Bitcoin side of the business, and the business executive has been doing just that. A few weeks ago, he announced on Twitter that MicroStrategy has integrated Bitcoin's Lightning Network into his corporate email address. This means anyone can use that email address, Saylor@MicroStrategy.com, to send Bitcoin to Saylor. The email address integration uses the Lightning Address Protocol, one of the features of Bitcoin's Lightning Network, a Layer 2 scaling solution designed to make Bitcoin payments cheaper and faster. The Lightning Address Protocol allows developers to replace a standard Lightning invoice or payment request with an internet identifier such as an email address. Saylor and MicroStrategy are exploring more ways to integrate Lightning Network solutions for corporations, as he explains in his discussion with Macquarie. Here are more clips from the interview.
And once I've done it, then I can digitally sign every document. And if this interview with you and I, we'll finish it. How do you post it to 10 different platforms and sign it? Because if you post it to Twitter, you might be able to sign it with a gold check. Yeah. It's going to cost you $1,000 a month and $12,000 a year to have a verification sitting in a centralized database of Twitter. And it won't work on Facebook, Google, YouTube, Snapchat, TikTok, iMessage, and Telegram, and Reddit. So if you wanted to have a universal authentication, you would create an orange check, and you would actually burn the orange check in the blockchain into Bitcoin's blockchain. You would publish it to Twitter and TikTok and Instagram and iMessage, and you would tell everybody, if you get a message from me or you see work of mine, it needs to be signed with this orange check identity. And if you did that, then you would have some defense when I spin up an AI, because my AI can copy you, copy me, and create 10,000 hours of interviews of the two of us, where you say anything I want you to say, and I say anything the robot master wants me to say, and it will look just as good or better than this interview.
Right.
And the issue is, how can I tell the difference between the fake and the real? And the answer is only with a cryptographic proof that's thermodynamically sound. MicroStrategy is working on a project in this area where we want to plug Bitcoin's security, the cryptographic security, into enterprise security of any corporation. And I know that Block has projects on decentralized identity where they're studying how you can blend cryptographic security in the modern world in a decentralized way that relies upon an open permissionless protocol like a Bitcoin. So I think there are a lot of people that are looking at this right now, and I think you'll see people focused on it a lot more over the next 24 to 36 months as they see the threat coming from the new AI bots. We're going to do it, and if someone copies us and they do it better, that's fine. And if no one does it, then we'll put out our version of it. And then I believe it's a good idea. And you just have to have that aha moment. Here's the moment. When your friends call you and say they were approached by you and they wired their life savings to invest in something, and you realize it's gone, and then you realize you were just spoofed or phished on a WhatsApp channel or whatever, and it makes you angry, you're going to think, I need a better way so that 50 times a week scammers and phishers and criminals don't impersonate me in cyberspace. I have two firms, and I'm sure I spend hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars a year, simply deleting impersonators and scammers in cyberspace.
Yeah.
And there's 100 a week. And every single week that goes by, someone says to me, oh yeah, I heard about this great trading idea. I'm like, that's not me. That's not me.
Michael Saylor's Bitcoin for Corporation ideas are quite impressive and would undoubtedly immensely contribute to the asset's adoption and growth. According to the 58-year-old business executive, MicroStrategy is working on a product aimed at delivering a Bitcoin wallet and Lightning address to every corporate account holder. The product will enable, among other things, the quick deployment of Bitcoin rewards to employees, customers, prospects, and business partners. MicroStrategy is also exploring software that leverages Lightning Network to provide enterprise marketing and cybersecurity solutions for corporate websites. This could very well be the next big thing for Bitcoin and the overall digital assets industry. What are your thoughts on Michael Saylor's assessment of the numerous threats AI poses to the human race and how Bitcoin fixes those threats? Please drop your comments and observations in the comments section below. Also, ensure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications for more videos. Thanks for watching.